What is up, you guys? Custom Made Graphics here, and before we get into this tutorial, I just want to say, I know it's a 30-minute tutorial, and if you are genuinely interested in what the tutorial is about, then please watch it to the end, because it really is pretty useful. But obviously, if you're not really interested, then I don't expect you to watch the whole 30 minutes. It wasn't meant to be 30 minutes long, but I can't really think of any way to shorten it, and I was going to split it into two halves, but there's nowhere sort of around the centre that I can actually split it. It's all continuous commentary, and it'll just sound like it's just cutting off. So I'm just going to upload the whole thing, and yeah, hopefully you guys watch it if you're genuinely interested, and then if you're not, who cares? It's up to you. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Peace. What is up, you guys? Custom Made Graphics here. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a nice quick tutorial on how to do the board that you will see around my Black Ops gameplay. It's really simple to do, and it makes your, if you are a commentator, it makes your gameplay look like a little bit extra special, that little bit of panache or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so we're going to get straight into the tutorial. And you'll see that I've already got mine loaded up here. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating something similar to this. And you'll see that what we have is we have everything organised into folders, so that we can just select each one and change it as we go along. So say if we wanted another pistol, we just go through and change each one. And so yeah, we can change that every single time that we want to make a new commentary. And it's really simple to do, so I'll give you guys a quick tutorial. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make a new project and make it the file size that you're going to render your commentary, gameplay, whatever. Make it the same dimensions as you're going to produce those in. So I'm just going to keep mine at 1280 by 720 and hit OK. Now what we want to do is we want to make a new layer, and for now what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it with a colour of black. So for a shortcut for that, you can use Shift and Backspace. It'll bring up this little box, hit the drop down arrow and go select black, hit OK. And now what we want to do is we want to go Control T with this layer and just hold Shift whilst we drag it in from the corner. And what that does is it means that we can keep our gameplay in perspective. I'm not too sure what the exact word is, but basically when it's not going to go all pixelated and weird when we render it out. So we're going to hold Shift and just drag that in slightly. And I think I'm going to just keep mine around there. Okay, so, and you know what, I might just drag it in from the other side slightly too. So we've got a bit on the outside. Okay, and that will do me. So that black space there is where we're going to have our gameplay. And now what we want to do is we want to create some sort of cool pattern on the background. Now, what I did with mine was I just did a CMG pattern overlay, and that just went all across the background. I thought that worked pretty well. But you can use any image on the background that you want. It can be some sort of texture, it can be a desktop background, exactly whatever you want it to be. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill this with a nice dark grey colour. Something along those lines will do me. Just fill that in. And head over and put a pattern overlay. Now, as I said, you can do this however you want for this background layer. It's not going to be really very important. All it does is give you the background that you just gives it some. It's better than it just being plain black, I guess. And that will do me. I think I'm just going to make this a little bit darker there. Select a layer, you bitch. Photoshop's such a bastard to me. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to sort of mark out where we're going to put all our where we're going to put all our guns and perks, etc. So, when's your next gameplay up? Oh, that's just Tidal texting me. My next gameplay up on my other channel should be up in the next day or so. I actually got two pretty decent gameplays today, so I've asked Rise QN or whatever he's called. He's gonna have to tell me. I've asked him to record those, so you'll be able to check those out soon. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down and select the rectangle tool, and we're just going to mark out our spaces. So down in this bottom left hand corner, I'm going to have my primary weapon. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this layer. Now, to duplicate this, you can right click it and go up to duplicate layer, or you can, I think it's Control J, But on my keyboard I've set duplicate shortcut to Control and A, just because it means I can do it one-handed without having to take my hand off the keyboard, because it's a bit of a bitch to have to reach all the way across to J. And I think what I'll do is I'll just make this black actually, so you can see it properly. And I'm also going to rasterize this layer. Right, now we can just duplicate it and move it along slightly, if I didn't have text tool or whatever I've got selected. Now, if you want to, you can have it right next to it, but what I like to do is I like to leave space so you can actually see text where the gun is, and so I'm just going to move that along and keep that around there for my secondary weapon, and that shouldn't be too bad. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and what I do is I like to have a square here. Now this could be used for, say, a video commentary. If you wanted to do a video that would be perfectly fine, you can just put that there. But all I do is I just put the map, like a screenshot of the map in there. So I don't know why, I'm not going to do a video commentary because I don't have a webcam or anything on my new computer yet. So now what we want to do is we want to make a slot for our perks. So make sure these are fairly even. Oh, I need to make this black. Do you know what? Stop being gay. There we go. That'll do me. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this and move it across. And I'll probably have to make these a little bit smaller. There we go. And duplicate that again, just to bring it over here. Now what you want to do is you want to try and make sure the gap in between each one is around the same sort of size. You don't want it looking sort of off center, as it won't look too good on the final outcome, and you want it to look... The whole point of this is to add some sort of nice pattern to it. Right, okay, so now we've got those, we can just go ahead and... Oh no, just leave those. Right, now what we can do is we can go and duplicate all three of these and drag them straight down again. This is where we're going to have our kill streaks, and then if we do exactly the same again, so we've got a nice little 3x3 grid and we've got 9 squares, and that will be where our equipment, lethal grenades and special grenades, that's where they will go, and that should be fine there. In fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these a bit further down so I can have some text underneath the map explaining what that is. Okay, not looking too bad. But you'll see it looks kind of plain, and we don't really want it to look plain, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add a pretty nice layer style to these. Any layer style will do really, it just, obviously you don't want it to be bright pink. Well, unless you're into that sort of thing, then maybe you do want it to be bright pink. But one that I've got here works really nicely, so I've got a nice silver outline with a nice black inner glow. So, not too bad, and I'll just have to up the arrow on all these. I'm not too sure how long this tutorial is going to take, but my channel is able to accept videos over 15 minutes long, so that shouldn't be a problem for me. Well, let's hope not anyway, but no, it's not going to be. And there we go. So now once we've finished doing all that, we can put all these in one folder. So if you go down here, you'll see a little folder icon next to your new layer. If we just go and rename that, and what we'll call this is, boxes, and then what we do is we go and select all our boxes and just drop them into this folder. Go ahead and close that, and there you go, it's all nicely and neatly done. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start importing our gun renders. So to do this, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to the link in the description and download that file. What that is it's a file containing everything that you can think of to do with Black Ops, from assault rifles to your kill streaks to map screenshots to camos, and yeah, it's a pretty nice little pack actually. They're all PNG files, so you don't have to cut them out or anything like that. You can just put them straight in, and they're fine like that. So first of all, what we're going to do is we've got our assault rifles. So in Photoshop, we're going to make another folder. We're just going to call this assault rifles. In fact, no, what we're going to do is we're going to call this primary weapons. And inside this folder, we're going to make some new ones. So we're going to have assault rifles, and drag that into primary weapons. Make another one, call this submachine guns. and another one. Sniper rifles, snippy rifle. What else have we got? So we've got assault rifles. What else? Light machine guns we need. Shotguns, snipers, submachine guns. Yeah, so we need light machine guns and shotguns. We're just going to add those in. LMGs. Okay, and last one is going to be shotguns. Okay, so once we've got our basic folders sort of laid out, then we can start to import our images. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into assault rifles, select every single image, and just drag it down into Photoshop and place it anywhere you want. And then we're just going to have to hit enter for each single one. Right, okay, and then what we're going to do is in the layers, hold shift and click on the bottom one as well, and that will select them all. And now what we can do is we go and press Ctrl T and then hold shift and drag it in from the corner. We can resize these and it keeps it all perfectly shaped without making it all pixelated. And we're just going to drag it down, right down here, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so then what we can do is we can drag all these into the assault rifles folder and go ahead and close that. And you'll see that all the assault rifles are in there. And now what we want to do is we just want to go and hide every single one. So to do that, all we do is click off the little eye that's on the left, and we're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same now for the rest of the guns, and I'll get back to you once I've finished doing it. Okay, you guys, I'm back, and you'll see if we go and hit down the drop down arrow for each of these folders, we have got every single weapon individually named. So say if we were doing a commentary, we knew that we were using the MP5K, scroll down here to the MP5K, hit view, and you'll see it appears on our border. Pretty nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly finish off doing the secondary weapons, and I'll be back again. Okay, you guys, I'm back, and what I did with the secondary weapons was exactly the same that I did with the primary weapons, just obviously in this next box. So you see that we've got all the pistols in here, we've got the specials, which is the crossbow and the ballistic knife, and we have all the launchers as well. So easy enough, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get on with the attachments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new folder and put attachments primary. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our folder again of epical magicalness, I don't know. Just go to Black Ops attachments, grab every single attachment and just drag it in. And we're just going to place all these again. Sorry if you can hear me thudding on my keyboard, but I don't know why I'm even thudding on my keyboard. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab all of these, move them down to our primary slot, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to resize them, once again holding shift and dragging it from the corner so it all stays perfect and in its aspect ratio. I think that's actually the right word. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to move this into attachments primary and go and hide all these once again. Alright, okay, so that's done. And now what we can do is we can just copy and paste this entire folder, and if I just go and show one of them so we can see whereabouts it is, we can drag this across into secondary as well, because this same list has all the secondary attachments like snub nose and speed reloader and grip and everything like that. So we're just going to keep those in there like that and rename this to attachments secondary. Now you might be thinking, well, what if we're running Warlord? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy and paste it again, and we're going to call this attachments Warlord. Okay, and once again I'm just going to go and show this, and what we're going to do is we're just going to move this across to the other side like so, and then we can hide it once again. So that covers you if you're using the Warlord perk, which I will never ever be using because I usually just stick to sleight of hand. It's just what works out better for me. Okay, so there we go with our first few that we've got done. And now what we need to do is we need to move on to the perks, the kill streaks, and our equipment. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another new folder, and we're going to go ahead and call it perks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 more new folders. We're going to have first tier, second tier, fail, and we're going to have third tier. And we're just going to drag these again into the perks folder itself and just quickly rearrange this so that they are in order. No, I don't actually want you to. Oh my god. Stop being a bitch. Right, okay, there. No. Why are you being a bitch? Do. Aha. Ah, fuck you, Photoshop. Right, okay, so there we go. And now what we're going to do is just going to start bringing in the perks. So, where are perks? Black Ops perks, tier 1. Select all of these and drag them down. Now, this pack doesn't actually contain the pro versions of each perk. If you want the pro versions of each perk, go ahead and look. It's not very hard to find. If you go on the Call of Duty wiki website, you'll probably be able to find it pretty easily there. I'm just going to drag these into place, and they actually fit almost perfect. So I think I'm just going to keep those like that, and go ahead and hide all these again. That's first tier, and do exactly the same for the second and the third tier. Drag those in. Look at that for good luck or just skill. I think we're going to go with luck on this one, to be honest. And that is that one done. Put it into third tier. Once again, just hide every single one. And that's fine. So that's our perks finished. Next we're going to go on to attachments. Not attachments, sorry, kill streaks. So we're going to make another new folder. Go ahead and call this one kill streaks. If you don't have caps fail like me. And then what we do is we're going to make 3 more folders. So we're just going to have kill streak 1. In fact, we can delete these two. We'll just copy and paste it. So then once we've got our kill streak 1 folder, we can go into Black Ops kill streaks, go ahead and grab every single one and drag them into Photoshop once again. And okay, so now we're going to select them all, go ahead and resize them. I think that should do quite nicely. Yep, that's another smug fit. So I'm just going to drag these into our kill streak 1 folder and go ahead and hide every single one once again. Fail. Come on, Skype, out of my way. Sorry, Flex, but interrupting my commentary, how dare you? I'm just going to go ahead and show this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this once again and just drag it across into our second tier. And then what we can do is we can rename this and call it kill streak 2. And if we duplicate this again, I'm sorry if I keep saying copy and paste, I do mean to say duplicate, but yeah, and kill streak 3. And then what we can do is just drag those into the kill streaks folder, easy as pie. And go ahead and hide these as well. Okay, so those are our kill streaks finished. Now what we need to do is we need to set one up for our equipment. So we're going to go to make a new folder and call this one equipment. And then we're going to make some more new folders. We need 3 more. We need one for what's it called? I'm actually going to have to look here. Alright, so we're going to need one that's actually called equipment. So that's two that you'll have called equipment, one called special grenades, and then your other one will be lethal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in the equipment from Black Ops. So we've got the Claymore, C4, camera spike, jammer, motion sensor, and tack insertion. Drag those in like so. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and resize these again. Now obviously you can make individual layers different sizes if you really need to. Like the motion sensor at the moment was sticking out above the top, so what I did was I just went and moved that down slightly, and there we go. There's our equipment. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide all these again, and then drag them into the equipment folder, which will be inside this equipment folder. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is our special grenades. Oh no, we're not going to do our lethal grenades, which is Frag, Semtex, and the Tomahawk. Go ahead and throw those in there. Same again, just go ahead and resize it. And I think I'm going to have these in the second slot. Go ahead and hide them and drag them into lethal. No prob, Bob. And same again with special grenades. Oh. Oh, tactical grenades, that's what they're called, isn't it? So I have to rename that to tactical grenades. No problem, no harm done. Resize. And drag it into the third column. And just need to change the name of this to Tactical Granada. Okay, that was probably sounded pretty stupid, screaming Granada in the middle of a tutorial, but whatever. So there we go, we've got our basic layouts now, and if you do want to add maps, then what we're going to do is, once again, go ahead and make a new folder. Oh shit, I just need to move the lethal and the tactical into our equipment folder. Right, okay, so we're just going to go ahead and call this folder maps, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag in our maps. Now all the maps are the same dimensions again. They're all 708 by 708, I do believe. Oh no, 708 by 531. But yeah, they're all really easy to resize to what you want. And when you look at it this way, you actually realise how many maps there are in Black Ops, even though I swear down I only ever seem to play Summit, Nuketown, or I don't know what else, or Grid. I don't really seem to end up playing many, but I don't actually mind playing Summit. I actually quite like playing Summit. It's a decent map. So just drag this up to where we're going to have our maps. And just drag that down again to about there. There we go. That'll do, donkey. That will do. And go ahead and hide all these. This is going to be a pretty long tutorial. And there's our maps done. So there's our basic layout, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to add our text headers, and they're pretty easy to do. What we're going to do is basically just going to make some rectangles, make them nice vibrant colour. I've really started to like sort of a bright green recently. It's just looked pretty goddamn sexy. And drag this underneath boxes. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a new folder actually, and we're going to call it gun name text. That will do me. And we'll just drag that in there as well. So once that's done, we can duplicate, because what I like to do is I like to have the name going across the top, and then I have the attachments at the bottom. So I'm just going to duplicate both of these once again, and drag them across for our secondary weapon. It's fine by me. And if you really want to get snazzy with this, you can merge them all together. Go ahead and get your eraser tool. Make sure the hardness is on 0%. Size doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep it on 100, I think. And what you do is you just click on the end of each one so it looks like it fades out. And it's a pretty nice effect, actually. if you can get it just right. And so that's pretty nice and simple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our text, and we're going to say that this is primary, and we're going to make the font, we want it to be a nice font that people can see, so I'm just going to use Bebas New or Now or whatever the frig it's called. And for some reason I've got my settings naffed somehow. I want that to be 0. Thank you very much. And primary, you'll see, is there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that as well. Bring it down. Call this attachment. Then what you do is you go ahead and rename each of these every time you make a new one. And duplicate both of these. Drag them across. And call that secondary. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want it to make a header for the map. We just do the same again, make a small rectangle though this time, about half the size that you actually want it to be. And that'll do me. Pick the same colour. That will do. Go ahead once again and just erase just the edge of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go duplicate, Control T, and then we're going to right click and flip it horizontally, and then shift and just drag it along so that it's in line. Perfect. There we go. And then we can merge these back together and just place it up there with some more text, and we'll just call this map. That will do me. So there you go, you've got your basic layout now. So say if you wanted to add your gameplay to the layout, I'll show you exactly what we need to do next in Sony Vegas. Okay, what's up you guys, I'm back, and now we're in Sony Vegas. What we've done is we've saved our image as a PNG file, and we have also loaded in our gameplay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and drop our gameplay onto the timeline, right click the timeline and click insert video track. In fact, no, we did not want to do that. What you want to do is you want to insert your gameplay first, and then insert the border first, sorry, and then insert the gameplay on top of that border. So I've messed this up here actually. Right, okay, so that's okay. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to drag the border along the timeline so it fits to the end of the gameplay. Now you're going to be thinking, well, I still can't see your goddamn border. So it's okay, guys, just calm down. What we're going to do is we're going to come across here where you'll see a little crop symbol. We're going to go ahead and click that. If we zoom out here, and then, I don't know why it is with Sony Vegas, but to get it to go smaller, you need to pull it out. So that's what we're going to do, and we're just going to move this around until we get it so it just about fits inside our little section that we made. And, oh, too big. And you know what, I think that might just do if we just bring that down and bring it in. And yeah, that fits quite nicely. And this is actually a quick sneak peek, I guess you could call it, at my 40 and 5 Team Deathmatch gameplay that will be coming up on my channel soon. But yeah, so basically once you've done this, you're not going to want to have to resize it every single time. So what we're going to do up here where it says preset is we're going to call it Black Ops resize or resized, I don't know. And what you want to do is you want to hit this little save button here, and what that will do is it will save it as a preset, so you can go down, hit the drop down menu, and you'll see I've already got my old one, which is Blops Border. So once you've done that, you can hit the little X in the top left hand side. Don't do it on the right hand side, otherwise that will delete the preset you just made. So get rid of that. And you might just want to add some colour correction, that's totally up to you. But that's the end of the tutorial, guys. I hope you found it really useful. Nice half-an-hour tutorial. I know you probably loved to listen to my voice for that time. I'll probably split it into a few parts. Sorry. So if I do that, then thank you for watching all 3 parts. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you find it really useful, and I hope it gets you probably more subscribers. So anyway, guys, till next time, peace.